All right, good morning, ladies. Great to see you, Nick here. Today's clinic, we're going to be covering fairway woods and hybrids, and specifically more fairway woods. I think a lot of us carry a lot of fairway woods and hybrids in the bag. They can be a little easier to hit than our irons if we know how to hit them, right? So, the first thing we're going to start with is our fairway woods. So this is like your 3 wood, your 5 wood, your 7 wood. We're going to be today we'll be focusing on hitting them off the deck, and this is going to be one of the harder shots to hit. I think most amateurs struggle the most with this fairway wood off the deck, and usually it's a little bit of posture stuff in the swing and setup. So the first thing we're going to want to do is when we line up with this fairway wood is I want it just a couple inches off the inside of my front foot. So for my right-handed golfers, that's your left foot. For my left-handed golfers, that's your right foot, okay? So just inside, and you can kind of see it's just inside there because with the fairway woods, and we are just sweeping the ground, okay? So the iron is built to kind of hit down through the grass, whereas the fairway wood, we want to sweep it, okay? So setup wise, like I said, couple inches inside that front foot, okay? And then, like I said, I want our big thought to be just sweeping that ground, okay? The club's gonna do the work for us, okay? Now, the other issue I see with a lot of amateurs is we get the setup part right, and we take this back and we see our head come way off the ball, right? And then we try to help it, and we do something like that, right? So that leads to tops, that leads to chunks, right? Really inconsistent contact. So I want us to focus on staying nice and centered when we make this swing, okay? So again, making sure my setup's good. Then when I take that club back, my head's staying relatively still, and then I'm not trying to help it, okay? Just sweeping the ground, letting the club do the work, okay? So let's put that all together here. So ball position a little forward, and I'm just thinking about sweeping the ground here. And usually the result's pretty good. I know you guys can't see that. That one wasn't too bad. So also today, we are gonna be covering hybrids, because like I said, I know a lot of us cover most of our bags are full of hybrids or irons, so I want to kind of cover the hybrids a little bit as well. Just one other note, um, if if you have different hybrids or woods, they're going to be pretty similar in terms of setup. So again, this is going to be more of a sweep, not quite like an iron, not quite like a wood. That's why we call it a hybrid, right? So again, with this one, we're going to have that ball position a little more forward. All right, so not quite as far forward as the fairway would, but still a little more forward. And again, I really want us to not feel like we're trying to help this club get up in the air. I think when a lot of people have a tendency when they see the bigger head of a hybrid or fairway wood, they want to help it and they want to swing really fast. So we want to keep that nice tempo, let the club do the work, okay? So same thing with the hybrid. Again, ball position, you can kind of tell a little more forward than I would play an iron. And again, I'm just focusing on sweeping this ball right off from the turf. And that one wasn't too bad either. So again, if you look here, I can see there's not a lot of turf interaction. So not a huge divot, right? Hybrid, you might take a little more divot, but very little big divots like we see with our wedges or our irons. All right, so big focuses with the hybrids and the irons is not trying to help scoop it up in the air and make a nice, even tempoed swing. All right, I'll see you ladies this afternoon.